I've been in business for 69 years, since I was 12. And every time, well, after the first dozen or so businesses, I realized that the only way to get ahead was to do things differently than the way it was being done. And then I came to learn, which I finally learned at my ripe young age, that if you do things differently, success will follow you like your shadow. And you can't get rid of it. So that's what I did. So people doubted me because people just didn't do what I would do. It's a matter of finding out what it is that an industry does and identifying the opportunity as to how to do it differently, and then being enough of a risk taker to actually do it differently. So people doubted me because nobody thought of doing it the way that I did. And they were satisfied with the status quo, and I'm never satisfied with the status quo.
Have fun. You're not going to have fun every minute of every day. I don't care what job you take, any job you take. I don't care how well rewarded you are. I don't care anything about that. It won't happen all the time, but you better be having fun in what you do. Don't take the next job or don't do the next startup because you should. Do it because you want to. Because you can think of nothing better, more exciting, more energizing to get up every day and go do than whatever it is that you selected. Be patient and be be patient when you get the first signs that it's not fun, because time must be measured. Constantly be improving yourself, because only by improving yourself will you maybe find that next idea. I'm sure there are many people in this audience who'd like to do a startup, and yet the first law of doing a startup is you got to have an idea. But if you're having fun, if you're building capabilities, if you're treasuring your time, if you're building your muscle and being hardcore, the good ideas will come to you.
If you want to make a quick buck, you can do it a lot of different ways. You can cheat somebody, you can misrepresent something, you can go manipulate the political system to get an advantage. But if you want to be successful over a long period of time, I believe you need to focus first of all on creating value for others. And I've had people, well, that's naive, that's utopian. No, it isn't, because why will the customers want to pay you anything over a long period unless you're creating value for them? Why would your employees want to work for you? Or if they didn't have any alternative, why do they want to give their best efforts? Why do they want to get excited? Why would they wake up at night with ideas? If you're in a community, a plant in a community, unless you're creating value for that community, why would the community want you there? If you're polluting and hurting people and not contributing anything to the community. So long-term success starts with being dedicated to creating value for others. It's not altruism. It's my whole philosophy is to have a system of mutual benefit, where both parties gain, a society based on win-win.
If you want to be a winner, then compare yourself to the best and acknowledge that it will never happen without hard work. Abe Lincoln used to say, good things may come to those who wait, but only those things left by those who hustle. If you want to be a leader, act like a leader. If you want to be respected and trusted, then demonstrate you deserve it by earning it every day. It takes courage to be accountable. Throughout my life, throughout this crisis of the past few years, I have seen many people embarrass themselves by failing to stand up, being mealy-mouthed, and acting like lemons by simply going along with the pack. I also saw plenty of people under enormous pressure who always did the right thing. Graduates, you will soon leave this wonderful community and venture into a new world to get ready for new jobs, new opportunities, and new lives. Along the way, you're going to face a lot of pressure. Pressure to go along, to get along, to toe the line, to look the other way when you see things that aren't right, and pressure to do things simply because everybody else is doing them. Never give in to that pressure. Have the fortitude to do the right thing, not the easy thing. Don't be somebody's lapdog or sycophant. Have the courage to speak the truth even when it is unpopular. And have the courage to put yourself on the line, to strive for something meaningful, and even to risk what would be an embarrassing failure. I think Teddy Roosevelt understood this nearly a century ago when he said, and I quote, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man, now the woman, who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without erring and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat."
The only thing that you can control that influences success in life is how hard you work, how honest you are, and how well you deal with others. You can control those variables. You can't control how lucky you are, although the more you work, the luckier you get. You have no influence on the intellectual capabilities that God did or did not give you, but you can work as hard as possible. You can be scrupulously honest so that people respect you, and you can get along with others because nobody does anything by themselves.
Did you have to pay a price, though? You personally?
Well, I think that everything is an either-or. There is a price in everything. You can study or you can go out and play. You can defer to others or you can try to hog the credit. You can be honest and suffer the consequences, or you can lie, cheat, and steal, and short-term maybe even advance. But long-term, you are better off if you work harder, you are better off if you're honest, and you are better off if you give others credit and get them to help you by helping them.
What do you tell others who try to strike that balance between family and work and volunteer efforts and anything else?
The answer of either-or is invariably yes. You can't go all in one direction. You cannot walk away from your family for your career. On the other hand, if you walk away from your career for your family, you're not going to have the money to support the family. And parents all the time are making those kinds of choices between career and family. They do some of both, and you try to blend the two, and that may not be the perfect answer, but that's a practical answer that I've always told young people when they go off to college. You have to study and you have to get good grades, but you certainly should have a good time as well, because that's part of your growing up experience, and there's no point in leading life to suffer all the time. You want to enjoy life as well as the next person. So it's some balance, some blend between the two.
Mr. Carnegie, you have stated in previous interviews that there are no limitations to mental capacity except those an individual sets up in his own mind. And you have explained this by saying that defeat can be converted into a priceless asset if one takes the right attitude toward it. Will you now explain what is the right attitude?
First of all, let me say that the right attitude toward defeat is that which refuses to accept it as anything more than temporary. And this is an attitude that one can best maintain by so developing his willpower that he looks upon defeat as a challenge to test his mettle. That challenge should be accepted as a signal that has been deliberately hoisted to inform him that his plans need mending. Defeat should be looked upon in precisely the same manner that one accepts the unpleasant experience of physical pain, for it is obvious that physical pain is nature's way of informing one that something needs attention and correction. Pain, therefore, may be a blessing and not a curse. The same is true of the mental anguish one experiences when overtaken by defeat. While the feeling is unpleasant, it may be, nevertheless, beneficial, because it serves as a signal by which one may be stopped from going in the wrong direction.
I see your logic, but defeat sometimes is so definite and severe that it has the effect of destroying one's initiative and self-reliance. What is to be done in such a circumstance?
Here is where the principle of self-discipline comes to one's rescue. The well-disciplined person allows nothing to destroy his belief in himself and permits nothing to stop him from rearranging his plans and moving ahead when he is defeated. You see, he changes his plans if they need change, but not his purpose. If one has mastered the principle of organized thought, one knows that the power of will is equal to all the circumstances of life, and he allows nothing to destroy his will to win.